I walk through the shadow of death left to fear. This is a journey through the halls of hell.
Yes people, what is good? I am BA, back again with a movie review, and this week I want to talk about the classic From Dusk Till Dawn. I still remember the first time I watched this film. I feel like I'd never seen anything like it up until that point. And to this day, I feel like there hasn't been anything quite like it, even though I've heard the new movie Sinners is heavily influenced by From Dusk Till Dawn. I've yet to see Sinners yet. It is, in my opinion, Robert Rodriguez's best film. He directed this and he co-wrote the screenplay along with Quentin Tarantino. So this film is part of the Quentin Tarantino multiverse, if you will, along with other things he wrote but didn't direct, such as True Romance. Anybody who has seen this movie knows why this movie is so brilliant and knows the exact moment this movie goes absolutely batshit insane, but for those of you who have not seen this yet, I'll give you a brief explanation, but it will have a big key spoiler in it that if you haven't seen it, I would advise you do not listen to first. So yeah, do not listen any further if you haven't seen it. That is your warning over. So the movie starts like a movie I would have actually loved to have seen a full-length movie of. We're following these two brothers, the Gecko brothers, played by George Clooney and Quentin Tarantino, who are bank robbers on the run from the local authorities. They have a hostage and they're trying to get over the border into Mexico to escape. And the first 45 minutes of this movie play out exactly as you would expect from a movie with that premise, you know. It's very much about these two guys and their desperate attempt to flee. The opening scene of them going into a gas station and it turning into a gun battle which then ends in an explosion is amazing and could have easily have been its own film. But this film doesn't want to stop there. This film hasn't even begun to fucking start yet. So we leave the 7-Eleven shoot up and these guys have to hold out in a motel for a bit, and we find out that Quentin Tarantino's character is a little bit tapped in the head because George Clooney leaves him alone with the female hostage for a set length of time, and when George Clooney comes back, he has brutally murdered and possibly assaulted said female hostage. So Quentin Tarantino is playing an incredibly fucked up character in this film. After that scene, they have to find a new hostage, obviously, and they end up commandeering a motorhome which has Harvey Keitel and Juliette Lewis playing his daughter and another kid playing his son in it. So now they've got a family of 3 hostage and they are heading to this bar in Mexico where they're going to meet their contact after midnight. So far, everything still sounds rosy. So they're in this Mexican bar and they start to get a little bit of beef with the locals and stuff like that, exerting their dominance in the bar as you do. Also, Quentin Tarantino gets a scene where Salma Hayek comes out and just dances in front of him, then pours champagne down her foot and allows him to drink the champagne off her toes. Now, he notoriously has a foot fetish, and I've heard there's a rumour that Robert Rodriguez actually wrote that scene into the film as a thank you to him for helping him write the film. Whether or not that's true, who knows? There has been weirder shit done in Hollywood, trust me. And to be honest, I mean, he's drinking champagne off of Salma Hayek's foot. I'd have drunk Lambrini out of Salma Hayek's ass. So yeah, I'm not judging Quentin for that one, but very soon after that, things take a turn. They shoot one of the patrons. The music stops. There is a silence. And then, all of a sudden, they all turn into vampires and begin to attack. So now we've got these two guys who are bank robbers on the run with a family of 3 taken hostage in a Mexican nightclub where all the locals have just turned into vampires and they now have to survive the night. What an incredible premise. I remember for many years I would use this movie as a barometer as to whether or not the woman I was seeing was quite cool, because I would put on From Dusk Till Dawn and about the 50-minute mark, some of them would be like, what the fuck is this shit? And instantly in my head I knew I could never marry them. And then there was others who were like, oh, this has just turned into what is clearly the best thing of all time, and I was like, cool, you're on the potential wife list. That is how important it is for me for people to get this movie. And from there, we just get chaos because they have to hold themselves up in the room where all the murdered travelers over the years' stuff has been stored, and they're able to fashion weapons. We get a holy water super soaker. We get a stake put into a pneumatic drill base. There is some incredible weapons, and the super soaker can have holy water because Harvey Keitel's character is a priest as well, who's been battling with his faith, but because he is religious, he was able to bless the super soaker water and make it deadly. Then there's just an incredibly tense scene where these guys open the door from that back storage room for the first time and have to make their way back out into the main area of the club and begin to fight these vampires. And I haven't even mentioned some of the amazing side characters going on in this. We've got the SFX legend Tom Savini playing a character called Sex Machine, who has a revolver penis pistol weapon that he can just like click a button somewhere hidden on his clothes, and the cod piece reveals a single pistol penis gun. And I was thinking about it, and that's an example of how much modern audiences suck. Do you know why? Because if that had aired today, there would be people on the internet going, that gun's unrealistic, the barrels don't even touch the shaft, it's just designed to look like a penis for a visual gag. And these people will break down the technicalities of absolutely anything they see in an absolute Hail fucking Mary attempt to enjoy nothing in life, right? Okay, sometimes things in movies just look cool. Sometimes they just wanted to write it like that. Stop pulling out your science books, dragging the chalkboard across the room and starting to draw up formulas for me about how unrealistic the dick gun is, and just enjoy the gun which is meant to be a dick. Okay, penis gun rant over. For the time being. And I'm gonna go full spoilers in this one because I really need to talk about that ending shot. I won't talk about all the ups and downs that they have throughout the night, who dies, who lives. But after all the chaos, in the morning, when all is said and done, and the survivors do leave this Mexican bar, the camera pans out behind the bar and you clearly see all the lorries that have been abandoned because the truckers have been killed, and the camera continues to pan out and you see that this bar has been built on the top of what looks like some sort of Incan temple or Mayan temple of some description. I guess it being Mexico is probably actually an Aztec temple, but yeah, it's just insane. And there's all these little entrances in the temple at different heights of it where it just looks like some sort of giant ancient vampire lair, and it is one of the best closing shots in any film for me. Such a great reveal, and even better that they just kept it for a reveal shot before the movie ended. Many movies would have chosen to make the third act in that lair, below the bar, for example. I think it worked perfectly just being in the bar, and the lair reveal at the end was just an absolute cherry on the top of what is, to me, an iconic, memorable, brilliant, and most importantly, fun and extremely entertaining and funny movie. So yeah, if you have not yet seen From Dusk Till Dawn, what the fuck have you been doing with your life? Go check it out and have yourself a good evening. I've been BA. If you'd enjoyed this review, like, subscribe, leave a comment down below, come over to the Patreon, sign up and help support me personally. Until next time, peace.